Hello guys, this is video 4. It's a good idea to actually have a look at all 3 videos before listening to this one. There's around about 20 videos in total. In the last video we discussed the whole concept of exclusivity and absolutism, and eventually got to the stage to say that the era of the cave is long gone. In this video I'm going to talk to you about the whole concept of, or let's call it, the results of such destructive commitments that we discussed in the previous video. Destructive commitments lead to nothingness, leads to nothingness, the abyss, and helplessness in the motion of falling. How do you deceive yourself in the border situations of your life? Border situations are realities of your life, like suffering, guilt, sickness, death, etc., that you just can't escape. There is a law in marketing that's called the law of acceleration. This law states that successful programs are not built on fads, they are built on trends. A fad can be associated with a wave in an ocean, and a trend as a tide. Like a wave, a fad is easily visible. It goes up and down in a big hurry. Like a tide, a trend is almost invisible, but it is very powerful over the long run. A piano student, after hearing the recital of Arthur Rubinstein, went to his piano lesson the next day and asked his teacher in a triumphant manner, Have you noticed Rubinstein made 3 mistakes last night? His teacher replied, Any idiot can hear mistakes, but did you listen to his music? What is the music that guides the understanding of you being in border situations in your life? Thus, what goes through your mind when you hit rock bottom? There's 2 options. You can handle the situation as a fad or build upon trends. A border situation may develop over time, like a long sickbed, or instantly, like an accident or heart attack. There are rarely any quick fixes for problems. Quick fixes only dampen the dreadful response. It does nothing for the instigating stimulus, and therefore only deepens the crisis. Religious groups should listen, because they are selling fads to people who need trends powerful enough to carry them through these crises in their lives. What is the music that guides the understanding of the mission statement of modern life? For me, the destructive attitude of fuck you has an underlying feeling of nothingness. This feeling has been and is still created by exclusivity and absolutism that saw the microchip coming, but instead of bending with their ears down to the ground and embrace, they condemned. This feeling of nothingness forms the base of a concept called nihilism. Nothingness. Nihilism can be called the dominant mood or condition of the day. In Latin, nihil means nothing. Nihilism states that the most basic reality in a crisis situation is a feeling of nothingness. As you develop through life, you are focused and caught up with something within or without yourself. What this means is that as you develop through life, you develop committed relations to specific beliefs to let you feel safe and secure. They give you hope, a foundation, and direction in life. These could be religious commitments, patriotic commitments, marriage commitments, or any other relationship commitments. You base your life upon these commitments. These commitments block the way to an opening where nihilism or nothingness comes into play. It means that these commitments protect you from the feeling of nothingness and worthlessness. When this commitment base opens up into the abyss, normally in times of a crisis like death, divorce, destruction, hardship, loss, sickness, doubt, something seems to halt and linger before you. This is called helplessness. That lies and waits at the bottom of these self-inflicted commitments. It is here where the ground of your existence becomes a question. It is here where the question why comes into play. These old cows in you die very hard, but when they do, there's a different kind of hurt that was actually unimaginable to before. It is true that people constantly go through hell for their committed commitments, but these hells are nothing when compared to the actual surrender of these committed commitments. I once had a patient, her husband died in a hospital. While conveying the sad news, she hit me with her fist in my face. A few weeks later, she came to apologize for her behavior. She told me that while she was driving back home, she stopped at the red traffic light, just outside the hospital grounds. While waiting at the traffic light, she got extremely mad for the simple fact sorry for this, that the vehicles from the sides are not standing still. My husband has just died. Why are people moving around when my life has just collapsed? Forced to a standstill. They are all going about as if nothing happened. This feeling of nothingness and overwhelmed her. She eventually put her vehicle into first gear after the traffic lights had changed a few times. In life, this happens to all of us. This feeling of nothingness can creep up any time. You may lose a job, try finding a job, get divorced, someone you love dies. It is just imminent in your existence. Life can sometimes be very tough. While falling into this abyss of nihilism or nothingness, you randomly reach out for answers. Why this? Why me? Why my child? Why? It is as if If you are falling down a dark pit and while falling you are screaming, "Help!" Screaming while falling means one sure thing: the bottom. Teachers, preachers, family and friends, do not try and give answers where questions are questions, and not questions with answers. Have you ever reached the depths where you acknowledge to yourself that you cannot help yourself anymore? Whereas before you had at least a foundation from which to deal with your problems. Now you have a totally new kind of problem. Your very foundations have been knocked out from under you. There is thus no certain basis from which to deal with anything. Everything is flowing, shifting like desert sand. Deeper questions are asked with the discovery that there are no guarantees or certainties. You do not know what to be sure of. Truth becomes questions. It's like walking around with blank eyes. Everything in which you have previously found safety and security failed you. You are grasping for straws because there are no certain goals before you and no sure foundation beneath you. You now become concerned with the mere survival. Something is wrong, and you don't know what it is. You are confused, and you do not know why. By finding no meaning in all of this confusion, you can become destructive or depressed in your desperate attempt to find something stable enough to hold on to. But what? It's like having a rebound after an unsuccessful relationship. This feeling of nihilism is a fundamental spiritual situation in which mankind finds itself today. People who followed the happenings in America on the 11th of September 2001 will understand. Nihilism is a result of a reaction against what we were taught and believed in. As said right in the beginning, society has a mission statement. By now you know what it is. I do feel that we have arrived at a place that the Australians would call down under. The psychology of arriving at a place called down under reflect 5 reactions. Now, shock, aggression, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. In relation to our mission statement, the above mentioned in our daily lives will read as follows. Shock. What the fuck is happening? Where the fuck am I? Fuck it. Aggression. Fuck you all. Bargaining. You fuck me, I'll fuck you. Depression. We are fucked. And I don't give a fuck. Acceptance. Where is the toilet paper? We are sitting in a hole that we, not they, created for ourselves. Our false commitments finally failed us. Our hearts are broken. Where are you in terms of these 5 stages in your life? If you do find yourself part of these stages, please throw down the rope. We want to get out of here. Or hand me the toilet paper. When I've finished, I'll give it to you. Please pass it on. We need to fill this hole so that we can get out of here. Have you ever asked yourself why you were screaming while falling down the abyss of nothingness after a major shock? Have you ever asked yourself why a dog, when falling down a pit, does not bark on the way down? If he survives the fall, he will start barking, believe me, for attention. Does the word helplessness come to mind? Is that it? It is it. The dog knows, inherent, through natural instinct, that he is helpless in the motion of falling. You have been brainwashed that you are not helpless in the motion of falling. Please get real. In some way, most of us have been in this motion of falling. Do you recall anything someone said that stopped this motion of falling? Please do not fool yourself with other words that softened the feeling. Just like a person looking for work and says he needs the experience. No, he wants money. A student at university saying that they love to study. No, they study to want to make money. The architect who flabbergasts you with his or her passion for creating your dream home. No, he or she wants your money. I once read a good article about a journalist predicting the stock market to reach a hard landing in America in February 2001. He was not concerned about the stock market crashing. His concern was the wordplay or genre that the media uses to soften the major tragedy. By doing that, a lot of people lost a lot of money. A man got seriously burned and was hospitalized where I was working. There was not much hope for survival. I was sitting alongside his bed, watching the sea of pain rolling in. The expression on his wife's face was full of emotions in turmoil. I witnessed this woman falling and falling and falling into the depths of helplessness. In myself, I was seeking at lightning speed for any kind of phrase of brilliance to grab onto this woman. My mind scrolled through all the stuff I have been taught in 10 years of theology, philosophy, and psychological studies at the university. I couldn't find anything. I just could not find it. After about an hour, I stood up, hugged the lady, and left in tears. 2 days later, my tutor at the hospital approached me in connection with this specific incident. He told me that the man eventually died that morning and that the woman phoned him to tell me that she was extremely dissatisfied about the fact that I sat there and said nothing. My tutor was also not pleased with the fact that I said nothing. There was a time that I felt bad about the fact that I just sat there and said nothing. I truly felt bad. Then I grew up and realized that the answers are not there anymore. If our commitments in society have failed us, what other options are there in this fuck you situation? In the next video, I'll present you with an option. Take it or leave it. Be committed to what you decide. Drifting around the fringes will not help you grow. Make a decision in fear and tremble about in what you will love and serve, and then love it with all your heart. There are no certainties in life, but you can make choices. Make your own choice and go for it. Why do I make the statement that you have been brainwashed to feel and believe, not to be helpless in the motion of falling? Well, you surely are. There is an answer to this question. You'll need to seek it you'll need to seek the answer in the next video. The answer is easy, but also difficult. It is up to you to listen to the music or look for the flaws. I've learned one thing in life up to now. That's to be a student of life. The one who knows all the answers is the one with the rope. The rope is not in his hand but tied around his neck. No wonder there is no rope hanging down the pit. Hand me the toilet paper. One heart needs another. I'll ask you again, why do I make the statement that you are brainwashed to feel or believe not to be helpless in the motion of falling, while you surely are? In the next video, I'll show you how religion works and its destructive way in which it works when it comes to your life. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you at video number 5. Bye-bye.